Welcome to Driving Immersion for the immersive driving experience. Ahead, another great race at the circuit at Baku in the country of Azerbaijan. Thanks for stopping by. If this is your first time here, don't forget to click subscribe and give us a like. Let us know what you think of the race.
Welcome to Baku. This was the arena, if you think back to 2017, of one of the most eventful races of modern history, with controversy behind the safety car, last-second overtakes, and a historic podium for Williams and for Lance Stroll. So let's find out what lies in store for us this year. It's time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. The Baku city circuit measures roughly 6 kilometers and is made up of 20 corners and 2 DRS zones. The circuit winds around the narrow city, through the old town, and even brushes against the city's medieval walls. However, as beautiful as the setting is, this track is also a ferocious technical challenge, where the smallest of mistakes could lead to catastrophic consequences for all of our drivers. Anthony Davidson is with me once again to take you through today's action, and we have plenty of twists and turns to come over the next hour or so, I'm sure.
What a great race we have in store for us today. Valtteri looks supremely confident this weekend, and that's why he's starting from pole. Can anyone get close to him today, I wonder? And of course, it's looking very close here today. A lot's going to be riding on those first few corners, and then the question becomes who can manage their tyres so they're in a better position to push hard towards the end.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Leclerc, Max Verstappen and Perez, Ricciardo, Albon, Stroll and Lando Norris, Sainz, Ocon, Pierre Gasly and Kvyat, Giovinazzi, Grosjean, Kimi Raikkonen and the Professor, Magnussen, Russell, Latifi and Mick Schumacher. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
We've got some work to do to match your result from the last race. Come on, we know you can do it.
Okay, here we are. We had again another terrible qualifying session through Friday practice 1. We had actually very good results with the practice sessions. We were able to accomplish all of our or attain all of our points in the practice programs, so we thought the car would be very good. Turns out in qualifying that we were 1.6 seconds behind the front runners, which is actually pretty good, but the field is very close, and 1.6 is placing us in 18th place, so again we are in the back of the field. So let's take a look at our pit strategy here for the race. We have a start with the medium tires, the yellow banded tires, and then we are going to put on a couple of soft tires, the red banded tires, for a two-stop pit strategy. And we're going to fill up the fuel here. We don't often have more fuel than we need, so let's try to burn all this up and get some power in. So here's the map of the circuit, 20 turns. And for this circuit, we are traveling counterclockwise
So turn 1 is a 90-degree left-hander, and you see the exit for the pits on your left. Turn 2 here again, 90 degrees.
Unlike Monaco, this is going to be a faster track. We are still between walls throughout the race, but you can see here that there's a couple of very good long straights, including one that is 1.6 miles long. Plenty of runoff into the corners. Plenty of space for passing. But there's a lot of complex features of this track, aside from the nice scenery.
There we are, that was turn 7. Very sharp right-hander. You can ride over the curb. And through the old town here. 8, 9, 10, 11. Turn 13 and 14. Down through turn 15, which is a very tight left-hander. Really not a lot of room for any racing there. And from turn 16 here, we accelerate out of third gear and onto the main straight.
So we're going to be very heavy with fuel for the start.
Turn 17, 18, 19. And this very mild kick here on the right, that was turn 20. Through our first DRS zone, and you can see coming up here on the left the pit entrance, which when you're approaching this very fast straight happens very quickly, so you have to be ready to enter the pits. So now we're standing on the grid in 18th place. There's 4 cars behind us. Lights out, and it's a go. So that's us on the very right of the screen there, and you can see that we passed a lot of cars. We do bump a little bit with a McLaren coming into turn 1.
Robbed a lot of people there.
And he's cleared by turn 2, but now we have a Haas right behind us. There's the McLaren, he's back again. I believe that is Lando Norris. Yes, it is.
Very heavy.
A lot of locking up here. Approaching turn 7 again, a very, very tight right-hander, but you can ride over the curb. And through here you have to accelerate moderately and then slow for the very slow section of the old town. Turn 13 and 14, you want to kiss the curb a little bit. And a lot of times you won't be able to avoid riding over the curb on the left-hand side of turn 15. Turn 16 here, you want to get ready for a fast exit. You'll be accelerating all the way through to turn 1 from here on out. Very carefully placing the car at the right place to maintain speed and avoid having to lift or slow down. Looking back at the McLaren now. There's the start-finish line with the pits on the very right of the screen with the pit exit. Turn 2 again, we've got the McLaren back. And he's staying steady back there.
Just got to put a little bit more distance.
Up ahead, that is the Red Bull of Alex Albon. And just ahead of him is Daniel Ricciardo with a Renault.
Is getting warm, reducing our overall capacity. The more charge you hold, the faster that capacity will drop.
So we're still using the first set of energy storage into our 8th race already. And they have been showing wear for the last 3 races, in that we have to use up our stored energy as soon as possible, as they tend to overheat. And you will see throughout the race that we are going to be keeping our curse energy relatively low, around 10 to 15, maybe 20% at the most. And we'll need it anyway to get through the straights here. Riding with, I believe this is Raikkonen, number 8. No, I'm sorry, it's not Raikkonen, it's a Haas. And this would be Roman Grosjean. We are watching the McLaren and the 66 driving Immersion race ahead. There's the start of the second DRS zone. The 66 continues to lock up ahead. As this is the beginning of the race, the cars are still heavy. Now, the 66 is on the medium tires, the yellows, so it doesn't have quite as much grip as this McLaren behind, as he's got the soft tires. Very big lock up there.
Cannot get away. He's fast.
Yes, the McLaren certainly is into tow, and he's got a good run on us. But he's on the outside of turn 1, and he's not going to be able to pass. Through the DRS zone, you can see that we did get a good jump on him, but he's got his rear wing open, so he's able to stay with us. And we can see that we have a Haas and another McLaren in tow. Lap 4 now, the car is losing weight, and we're getting accustomed to its performance with the medium tires, and learning to manage it, as it's not as grippy as the red tires. So keeping the McLaren and the group of cars behind is, I guess, a good thing.
No DRS for him.
So yes, we don't have a car in front of us, so we don't have any DRS available to us to take advantage of. And certainly the 8 to 10 miles per hour advantage that the car behind us has is going to come into effect. But right now we are maintaining it with the fuel mixture and the ERS. Coming in through 5 and 6. Coming out of turn 16 on down to the main straight. Let's see if we can pull away from the McLaren. Very, very long straight to be at top speed. There is the McLaren of Lando Norris, and he is still right under our wing. He's going to have his DRS open here. But again, it's just not enough to catch up to us. And then again, as they say, catching is one thing, passing is another. There we are, riding over the curb.
Poor exit.
You can see there in the background that there's a lot of old stately buildings. Azerbaijan is a oil-rich country. And doing some research, I found that it is a democratic Muslim government. But you can see there in the background again that there are a lot of new tall glass buildings, and again that is due to the wealth from the oil that they have. And if you don't know where Azerbaijan is, one of the neighboring countries is Iran. Baku here, the city is actually on the coast of the Caspian Sea. A little research also shows that Azerbaijan is actually the first country to construct and develop a
Did he bump me in the back?
overwater sea platform for drilling oil. Back to the race now. That is turn 15. That curve on the left is very tall, and you don't want to ride over it as it
Can't
will
get
throw
the
you
car
into
stopped.
wall on the right. And you saw there that coming out of turn 16, we were very wide. And turn 16 again is very important as it determines how soon you can accelerate out onto this very long straight with the sweeping curves.
got DRS.
So you can see the McLaren is just under our wing. He gets by. But we're still able to get around him on the outside. I think it was a little too close to the wall on the left. Very exciting racing there, locking up into turn 2. And
Guess he
3.
didn't want to be on the hook for DRS.
No, the DRS is not enough to get by in the first zone there. So the other McLaren of Carlos Sainz has gotten around the Haas of Roman Grosjean. And the McLarens are actually very fast this year. We were fortunate to be able to get by them at the very start of the race. And we are kind of holding them back now as we're making it very difficult for them to pass. But that's racing. The proper way to exit turn 16, again, you can see that we're going to be accelerating on out until turn 1.
Two McLarens.
Still with the McLarens in tow, I can see that Lando Norris is on the mediums and his teammate Carlos Sainz is on the... actually, Lando Norris is on the reds, the softs, and Carlos Sainz is on the mediums, so they're on different pit strategies. Riding with Carlos Sainz, looking at Lando Norris racing.
Yeah, it seems like Ricardo has gotten away here.
Yes, from Carlos Sainz nose, we can't see another car ahead of the 66. And certainly from the cockpit of the 66, we don't see the Renault anymore. So they've gotten away pretty good. And again, our car was slower through the practice and qualifying, so we're pretty happy to have the McLarens behind. Now, as you can see, the weather there is sunny. There's a very light cloud in the air, and there's little chance for rain. So we don't expect that factor to make Any difference on the race? Looks like the McLarens are a safe distance now, and we can actually work to start to conserve our tires. So lap 10 here, you can see that
Got a lot of space now.
we have used up our fuel reserve. We're down to plus 0.8 laps. So that was a good decision to put extra fuel in there. We have been slower than the Renault that's ahead of us, but it kept us ahead of the McLarens. Here's a replay. Let's see what happened, and that is Esteban Ocon in the other Renault approaching the pit straight here, and he gets a little shaky, hits the wall, and spins around. Doesn't look like he hit anything before he started losing control. So it's probably a drivetrain problem, and his race is over. We did pass him early on, so it doesn't really affect our race at this point. There was a loud smack coming out of 15. Again, if you ride the curb on the left, it will throw you out onto the wall, and it's a very short trip to the wall at turn 15.
We're up the wall. Looks like he's going to get a good run on this one.
Yes, the McLaren was very fast at that straight as we had a very slow exit. So he's very close by at turn 1, and we see another car just up ahead. And now we have a Mercedes behind the McLaren. Couldn't quite see who that is, and I believe the car ahead is going to be another Mercedes. And that would be Valtteri Bottas. I believe he is the first to pit for the second set of tires. And you can see here that he is taken off already. So that would mean that Lewis Hamilton is behind Lando Norris there in the Mercedes. And as we saw earlier, he's got the medium tires on. So it's very possible that they also had split their pit strategies.
Starting to lose grip in the rears.
Racing again with the McLaren. You can see there that Lewis Hamilton had gotten by Lando Norris in turn 1. He was just a little bit out of shape after trying to pass us. And Lewis Hamilton just drove through the inside. And you can see there that Lewis also has his DRS open through 5 and 6 here. Now the curb on the right of turn 6 is also very high, and it will also throw you into the wall, or at least slow you down as you wait for the car to land back on the ground. Riding with Lewis Hamilton now in the Mercedes. You can see he's very close to the 66. He should be able to get around this main straight. Turn 15 and approaching turn 16. Again, exit is very important here, and that looks just about right. So lap 13, you can see that we have more wear on the rear tires. Maybe just accelerating a little too hard. There is Lewis getting around the 66. You can see the main straight's very wide. And he's on the outside, and 66 takes the inside and gets back by. Well, here we are, another DRS zone. Let's see if Lewis can make up the difference. Nothing doing. So if the 66 is holding him up, he's holding up Lewis Hamilton, and Valtteri Bottas is definitely getting away. So we're riding with Carlos Sainz. Obviously, Lance Stroll may have come into the pits already, and that's why he's out of the queue. And looking back from Carlos Sainz, you can see there were a couple of a couple of Ferraris, so they must have come in to change out. Now, can we see what kind of tires they have on? Here we are. You can see Lewis is coming around to the right, and it's not enough. The proximity arrows show that he was on our right. When those arrows turn red, that means they are within
We're letting Bottas get away.
wheel-to-wheel range. So one of the Ferraris has gotten by Carlos Sainz. And it looks like that is Vettel with a set of mediums. We've got a little glimpse there of Valtteri Bottas as he's getting away. He's probably a good 4, at least 5 seconds ahead now. So there you got a good view of the train of cars that we are leading through the main straight.
So the Mercedes is fast.
Yes, you can see there that Lewis is.
And there we go, he's got his DRS open. I'm going to leave him on the outside.
There he is on the outside, and we continue to outbrake him into turn 1. We go wide to make sure that he doesn't think about staying in. Still racing with a Mercedes and a Ferrari. Obviously our car is not very fast. However, we're able to keep them behind, so at this point in the season, development should be going pretty well, considering the results.
Very close this time.
There he is. We get under his wing to get a little bit of tow. And again, we're going to dive and outbrake him, taking the inside. So we get our place back. See there, the Mercedes is racing with the Ferrari just a little bit behind us. And we're really holding everybody up now. We do have the mediums on, and I don't believe we're due for a pit stop until about lap 25. Maybe later. And you can see that we have quite a lot of wear in the rear tires, and that's just due to accelerating hard. We have been able to use a lot of the rich fuel mixture so far throughout the race, and that may be why. But it's a lot easier to control worn rears than worn fronts. So we're going to keep punching along. There's Lewis again, he's gotten around. And once again we outbrake him. And now you can see the Ferrari has gotten by as he also outbraked Lewis. And I believe Lewis had a very, very good slingshot there through the main straight, and that's why we were able to outbrake him. He just couldn't stop, he was going too fast. Again, approaching turn 7, right over the curb there and entering the old town. You should see the castle right behind us now. Yep. again. He's locking up. We did rub the wall on the exit of turn 2 there with our front tire. But it didn't
I have
seem
no
to
grip in
affect
the rears.
Oh, too wide. Obviously, I think if the DRS was not available, we would have gotten away by now. There are at least 4 or 5 laps down the main straight where they were just able to keep up with us just because they had their wing open. So the car is fast. I just don't think that the setup is that great. Although the car is behaving pretty well right now with the tires that we have on. And it's allowing us to keep these other cars back. Riding with Sebastian Vettel in the Ferrari, looking at Lewis Hamilton, trying to get around the 66. Through turn 15. On the nose of the Ferrari now, you can see that all of these turns here are sweeping, and we continue to accelerate out. So at this point, the draft is very important. And once you open up your rear wing with the DRS, you should be able to get even more speed. You can see that we're just there on the left, and Lewis Hamilton is coming up fast, but again, just running out of room as long as the straight is. There's just not enough. So we are going pretty fast, and I think at the beginning of the race we got to see there that the front wing is set to 1. So we have minimal downforce out of the front wing. Over the curb there and just inches away from the wall. Riding with Lewis, he's got a run. There we are, the 66 on the right hand of your screen. We stay on the inside and we keep the turn. So we're still ahead of Lewis and the 2 Ferraris. And you can see there that there is now a racing point behind them. Actually 2. So lap 21 now, any car behind us who started on the red would have stopped for their second set of tires by now. So it's important to keep that in mind as we have our pit strategy set with the yellow tires to start the race. You get to see there that we are upshifting a little bit early, or short shifting, to avoid spinning the rear tires. We're trying to see if we can save the rears here and go a little bit longer, or at least not have to come in too early. So we did get a good jump on everyone there, and you can see that Lewis, while still behind us, is a little bit further back, and even though he's got his DRS open, he may not be able to attack. Oh, he is. He's right there, but again, to no avail. You can see all the cars trailing behind us with their DRS wings open. And we are still able to stay ahead of them.
That was reckless.
So the Honda is providing good power. Now we just have to work on the chassis or the suspension and the settings before the race. As you always have to look where you can be more competitive, I guess. And I think for the game, I would have to say that the development is slow. We have been able to achieve a lot of the resource points through the practice sessions, but again, it's very limited, so a lot of the improvements, especially the chassis, are very slow. Sometimes 3 to 5 races it takes for something as simple as an under tray.
Okay, Hamilton's on this time.
There he is. He got by a little bit earlier, but we continue to outbrake him. I think that he's just going a little too fast coming down the straight, and for some reason he's not able to slow the car down enough to stay ahead. Short shifting again. Coming out of turn 12. Sweeping turns through 13 and 14. Before we slow down to third gear on turn 15. Climb up the gears and back down to 3 to exit 16. Looking on now with Sebastian Vettel.
Got a good run this time.
There is Lewis Hamilton on the right hand and the 66 on the left. And again, he still just cannot get by.
So I'm starting to lose the fronts now.
that we're actually able to handle pretty well through the tight, twisty section there. So in fact, the suspension setup might be pretty good. But again, against the Ferrari and the Mercedes up ahead, the team car, the driving immersion car, is still behind as far as power plant and a lot of chassis development. But that's part of the challenge. Here we are riding with Hamilton. Let's see what he can do. He's in the tow, obviously. Past the start-finish line and past the pits, he is on the left. Still nothing doing. Through 5 and 6, we still have the 2 Ferraris and a Mercedes behind us. Very close out of 15. Little lock up there on the entry to 16, but we're able to accelerate reasonably well. Now it's gotten a little bit hazy as the afternoon goes on. You can see a little bit of cloudiness in the sky. There's Lewis, he's gotten around. We just didn't plan ahead that time, and he was at the right place at the right time to get around. So you can see that he is departing pretty fast. So you get to see there on the entry to turn 5, when you are racing or driving from the seated position in the cockpit, you don't get a lot of cues from the track, so you use your surroundings. There's actually a little yellow sign affixed to a building on the right. Once you reach that yellow sign, that's when you know you should brake, as the approach is blind. And a lot of turns are like that when you're in these city circuits or road circuits. We've got the Ferrari beside us now, but we keep turn 16. Going through the sweeping 17, 18, and 19 here. 20. There's the Caspian Sea on the right. So we are right on the coast. Here we are. It's just about time to come in and change out. Just couldn't keep the other cars behind us any longer with this set of tires.
Could not see. All right.
And for the third race in a row, we have had the last box on the pit straight. Used to be that it was a random thing where you'd be positioned on the pit building or the pit boxes. So if you know anything about that, comment below and let us know if that is now a fixed item or a fixed place for 2020. So we've got the fast tires now, the red tires, the soft tires. Let's just see how much faster we can go. Ahead of us is Raikkonen in the Alfa Romeo with Giovinazzi also in the other Alfa Romeo. In the last couple of races they have been very fast throughout the straights, so let's see what we can do with them here. So for the moment we are clear of traffic, which is going to be good as we had just put on these red tires. It takes about a half a lap, 3/4 of a lap for them to come in. As far as temperature and grip, but now we have to start making our way forward. That pit stop had pushed us back through the field. And we will have another one.
Very stingy with the DRS.
Yes, we can see the two cars just ahead of us there, and it was a little bit suspect why we were not available with the DRS, but I guess it's timing. And there's really not much we can do to confirm any of it. So here we are under the wing, and this would be Kimi Raikkonen. There is the old castle in the back. If you know anything about that, comment below for any factual information that you might have. I didn't really appreciate Baku when it first came onto the Formula One.
Guys moving to mix 2. Fuel to mix 2. Okay, the gap behind is 3.6 seconds.
When Baku came onto the Formula One circuit, as you can see here, that it's a street circuit. The area where it goes by the old castle is a little bit too tight for racing, but once we left Monaco this year and we got into these wide open straights, I got a better appreciation for the track. It's certainly a lot more exhilarating to go that fast. You can see there that we had gotten by. Again, we have the red tires here, and they are new, so we have a lot of grip available to us. Even when we had the yellow medium tires on, we were still pretty fast through the straight, so hopefully we'll be able to make up a lot of time here.
Too aggressive.
Now the red tires are going to be good for about 12 or 15 laps. And we have a 51 lap race, so we're going to have to do a little bit of conservation. And with those 12 or 15 laps for the first 5 or 6, they're actually very good, grippy, and racy. But after that, they start to decline rapidly. By the 10th or 11th lap, you're having to maintain traction as they have lost a lot of their ability to grip now. But these are only a couple of laps old, so we should look forward to getting around the cars in front of us. So lap 30, you can see there that we are still with a little bit of a surplus of fuel, and that's how we'd like to have it. Usually within 0.5 to 1.5 while we were lapping through the race. And that way you're not carrying too much weight. But for this race we had a little room in the tank, and we put in extra fuel just so that we could have a lot of available power at the beginning of the race. Another rub of the wall there. There it is. You saw the very high curb there on the left. You can see that it pushed us towards the wall on the exit of 15. We should have a very good tow here on the, I believe that is, well, that's Daniel Kvyat, so that would be a Alpha.
Not going to be easy.
Wow, not enough. Let's see if we can outbrake him. Yep, there we are. A little bit of a lockup, but we were able to outbrake him. Now, after the first few races, Pierre Gasly was actually named one of our rivals. So for the upcoming races and the races before, our goal was to beat him no matter where we were placing on the race or the track. So we got to see there that he's got a set of yellow tires on. Obviously, they're not going to be able to finish the race at this point if he started with the reds. So he'll be coming in again for another pit stop. Just as we will, but right now we're ahead of him, so hopefully we stay ahead of him. Here we are, we've got a tow on the car ahead. And that is the other AlphaTauri. So you can see that the weather has changed. The skies have gotten a little bit dark and certainly hazy. There's the sun poking through just a little bit. But right now we are not getting any alerts or warnings of rain.
Boy, I hope that's not rain coming in.
So we did have a little rain over the weekend. I believe it was...
This Raikkonen ahead of us, he's got the fastest time of the race so far. And we have to find our way around him.
The gap to the car ahead is 1.6 seconds. We're leading our teammate by 21.8 seconds.
So we did have a little bit of rain at the end of Friday practice 2. It lasted for about 10 minutes, so we didn't go out. So if it does rain, certainly our setup is not made for rain or set up for rain. And yes, that is Kimi Räikkönen ahead of us, again in the Alfa Romeo with the fastest lap so far. And even though he's got the red tires on, which may be a little bit older, we are catching up to him just a little bit. So we have a very good fast laps available to us. Again, you just have to be consistent for all of it to add up. Very wide out of 16. Certainly not close enough to Kimi Räikkönen to be under the tow. And no DRS. But we do have him in sight. Out from under the wing of Kimi Räikkönen, you can see the 66 is staying in tow through the very slow section of the castle there. Little lock up and riding over the curb. So out of 15 and 16, we have to dash through those as fast as we can so that out of the exit here that we could be close enough to Kimi so that we can activate the DRS. We also want to make sure that we've got enough ERS power available to us. So there we are. Lewis Hamilton just took the fastest lap. Obviously he's somewhere else on the track. Short shifting very early just to get enough traction out of the corners. And there is a car ahead of Kimi here, so hopefully that slows him down a little bit. We just need to be able to get a little bit closer so that we can get around him on the main straight. There's that little yellow sign that you saw flash on your right hand side to get into turn 5 that we use as a cue for the braking. Big lock up there, all 4 tires. Again, we have to try to be very close to him coming out of 16. And through here we are preparing just to get closer and closer. Looks like we have a bad exit.
at least get into tow.
There's the DRS. So we were within the DRS limit there, but again, just not enough room to get by. We'll have to be a lot closer next time. And out of turn 3, we are very close with the DRS available to us. There we are. We can see that, wow, the 66 got around. And that would have been turn 3. And again, turn 3 is very difficult to get by, but again, if you stick your nose in there, the car on the outside can't really do too much. So again, for the 3rd or 4th race in a row, our braking is very good on this car. And a lot of times when you are finding that your front tires are locking up, you just have to reduce the stiffness of the sway bar in the front, and that helps quite a bit. But at least it got us around Kimi Räikkönen at this point. And you can see here that we've gained a little bit of distance on this open section, so we are going very fast.
Maybe his tires have fallen off.
You can see that Kimi's a little bit further behind now. And ahead of us is the Red Bull. Can't quite make out who it is right now. Big hit on the wall to the right there again. That curb will throw you out to the wall. Good exit out of 16. See there that we're riding over the curbs on
Sun's back out.
17 and 18, so we are within inches of the wall.
Be careful, we think you're going to start losing some tyre grip around now. We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the softs.
Ferrari in tow. And if that's the case, we must have beat him out of the pits. And that would be Sebastian Vettel behind us. Number 5. He will have the DRS available to him now. Not enough. So the Ferraris are back together again. I wonder how they did that with their pit strategy. We're riding here with one of the Ferraris. I believe this is Charles Leclerc. And we're actually racing with them. You can see the 66 just ahead. Coming in through 16. Now they're both very close here. They should be able to get by in the straight as they will have their DRS available to them. Let's just see if we have an answer for them. Side by side, the Ferraris.
Couple of Ferraris.
So I have Charles Leclerc on the inside, and I try to pin him, but he gets by. And no, I break both of them. Yeah, but it did look like we did hit the wall on the exit. Charles Leclerc is very racy here. And both Ferraris are definitely racing against each other. Too wide. Coming into turn 3. Vettel wins that one. But it's given us a little bit of breathing room. There is the racing point of Perez. Again, Perez is the one we are usually racing with. At this point, we are ahead of him. And it's going to be based on pit strategies. He's usually very fast. So lap 40 now with only 11 laps to go. He should be on his last set of tires. Along with these 2 Ferraris here. I think when we stop, obviously they're going to pass us, but they may have short-stinted their set of yellows to be able to get onto the soft tires ahead of us here. And we did go about a lap long on the yellows. There we are. We saw the 66 coming into the pits.
It's fast.
So there we are. They're not doing anything right now, obviously.
Wow, what's going on?
We were awarded a 5-second pit speeding penalty for the first stop that we made. So we basically had to serve that 5 seconds there. And you can see that the 2-second pit stop turned into 7 seconds. Actually 7.7. And now the Alfa Romeos are both ahead of us again, which means that the AlphaTauris are also ahead of us. And unless they plan to stop within the next 1 or 2 laps, it's likely that their pit strategy has set them on their final set of tires. So while we still have grip on this new set of reds, we're going to need to make our way around them. So that's how the pit strategy shakes out. At one point we were 2nd and 3rd in the race. And now, after our last stop, we are in 18th place, which is basically where we started. So let's just see if we can improve our race here with remaining laps to go. 10 laps to go. Down the long straight, we didn't get too much out of it. So we are a little bit closer through 3 and 4. It looks like the Alfa Romeo of Kimi Räikkönen has gotten by the Haas ahead of us. Can't quite make out who it is right now. That is Roman Grosjean. Kind of holding us back a little bit as Kimi gets away, but we're racing both of them, so as long as we are able to get around Grosjean at the end of this lap, that's at least an improvement. There's our DRS. You can see that we are on the inside and he's falling behind. Brake appropriately. There we are. We did run over the curb a little bit on the inside of turn 1, but that's okay. The corner is actually pretty wide, so we're able to keep our composure, let's say. Looking back at Grosjean.
The Alphas are fast. Got a good start on me on this one.
So at the end of lap 43, we're catching up with Giovinazzi. Again, Alfa Romeos are very fast.
You're increasing the gap to the car behind by a few seconds per lap. Keep this up.
And you can see the timing there that Daniel Kvyat, our rival, is 4 seconds ahead, so we have to get by this Alfa Romeo and catch up to Kvyat. Turn 15 you saw. Turn 15 you saw that we flew over the curb there. So we get a good exit, and we're very close now to the Alfa Romeo of Giovinazzi. We should be able to get in the draft and use the DRS. Riding with Giovinazzi here, you can see our rear wing is open. We're on the inside, and we're able to take turn 1.
Fastest lap.
And at that lap, we were awarded the fastest lap of the race so far. So just flashing out of view there, you can see that there is a AlphaTauri that we are trying to catch. I believe as of right now, we are the last car to pit, so we should have the newest set of reds or soft tires available.
No, I'm still in range.
So looking upon the strategy now, it seems that we did go a lap or two longer on the first set of tires, the yellow tires in the race. We should have been changing out into our second set of reds when the Ferraris did, and that would have kept us very far ahead of the field here. Now, as you can see, we're quite a ways back, even from the points perspective. Another bump on the wall. very wide on the exit. We outbrake ourselves. We're closer to the Haas now, and you've got to get around him. And I believe that is Kevin Magnussen just up ahead. And we were able to undercut him. I believe that's turn 7. So lap 47 with just a handful of laps to go. We are in 15th place. And we got to look there. There is a car that just disappeared in the horizon. We're going to have to make our way up to them. Down the main straight again. We're giving it all we've got.
Not a single safety car. Not even a yellow.
Yes, for this race here
That's
at
3
Baku,
laps.
there's been no safety cars, just a brief yellow. And no rain to equalize the field. Looking back, we're still going faster. We've left the Haas behind. And that is the distance of the car ahead. There's a yellow just up ahead. There's a car slowing on the course, and that is one of the racing points. Trying to get the most out of our red tires now. There's Daniel Ricciardo. He's the car ahead of us at this point in the race. You can see, looking back from his rear wing, that we just appeared around the corner. And this would be turn 3. So 4 seconds behind Daniel Ricciardo on lap 50. It appears the race will end this way. And for this race, we'll be out of the points. So we'll cross the start-finish line once again, unless the leader has crossed already, and make one more lap of the course. Down the main straight again, going faster and faster, but it's not going to be enough. You can see ahead that Daniel Ricciardo had just made the left turn into turn 1, and that's how far ahead he is. Unless there's a yellow or something that happens within this last lap, we're not going to be able to catch him. Locking up once again into turn 7. Coming in through the chicane, through the old town, by the castle. And through 12, 13, 14, and 15 for the last time. There's a view of just how sharp turn 15 is. Exiting out of 16, going down through the curves onto the main straight. Looks like the Haas has gained a little distance on us, but he's not going to be able to make it in time for the start-finish line. And I believe we'll finish this way. There we are, across the start-finish line.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Ferme.
We finish in 14th place, 4 places ahead of where we were. So no points for today, but we scored the fastest lap.
Here we are then, it's victory in Azerbaijan. Great work from the whole team here at the track and back at the factory as well. And some pretty handy driving for good measure. So Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today. Let's see what effect this result has had on the drivers' standings. It wasn't the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Carlos Sainz certainly wasn't someone to scoff about. His ability to follow race strategies throughout with pinpoint precision has to be commended.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today as they make their way up the standings. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
So there we are, a quick look at the standings. We are in 14th place to finish the race. Our fastest lap was a 1:45, and we were a minute and 6 seconds behind the finisher, the leader. Quick look here, Esteban Ocon was disqualified at the beginning of the race in lap 11, and it was Lance Stroll who didn't finish the race. Enjoyed watching the race here at the circuit of Baku in Azerbaijan. Don't forget to give us a like and subscribe and get your notifications, and we'll see you at the next race.